new section or new part of this big chapter of core Azure services, Azure databases. Here we will mention 4 of them: Azure SQL database, Azure Cosmos DB, and briefly we mention Azure database for PostgreSQL and a database for MySQL. We will start with Azure SQL database, which is a fully managed relational database, which is provided by Azure. And with Azure SQL database, you of course get high availability, scalability, and security for your application. But what that's actually almost every service. But what you have to remember, it's a fully managed and relational database service. Here you might face two before starting the topic. Actually, it's good to introduce two technical words or two acronyms such as DTU, database transaction units, which you might see in documentations. So DTUs, database transaction units, that's a bundle measure of compute, storage, input out of resources in Azure SQL database. And they basically present a simplified way to understand and purchase database performance. So each DTU would have compute resources, CPU, storage, I/O operations, and memory. And while DTUs are still available, Microsoft has also introduced something called vCourse, vCore-based purchasing model that provides a bit or more granular control over resources. vCourse, full name virtual cores, are more granular way to provision and manage computing resources in Azure SQL database. Each vCore represents a logical CPU core that can be allocated to your database. So vCore, virtual core, because there is one CPU, so core as a CPU. This model provides a bit more precise control over compute resources, better predictability in terms of performance, easier matching with on-premises workloads, and more flexible scaling options. The vCore model separates compute resources from storage, so it allows you to scale compute and storage independently. You can choose specific hardware generations, select memory configuration, and optimize costs based on actual needs. So it's a bit more advanced than DTU unit. So for example, you can have vCore based database types. For example, one of them would be general purpose. It could have 4 vCores, 20 GB RAM, and it would cost, let's say, $200. But for business critical database, you could have 8 vCores, 40 GB RAM, and it would cost $800. And for hyper scaling, you would have, of course, auto scaling vCores. It's also possible, unlimited storage and cost based on usage, but you need to be very careful with the cost. What we can use it for? Of course, we can use for web applications, filling user data such as profiles, preferences, but also application data, products, orders, for example, in e-commerce store, system data, logs, metrics, so many things. But I would say mostly you would have user and application data. Business applications, also again customer data, CRM analytics, financial data, transaction reports, operational data, inventory, for example. Analytics database, for example, in data warehouse, where you want to keep some historical data aggregations, real-time analytics as well. Under analytics, you could have some data for dashboards, but also you could use for machine learning, where you could keep your training data or predictions. So general purpose. Of course, there are lots of security features for authentication, for encryption in rest, in transit, and it's of course compliant with GDPR or HIPAA, HIPAA for authentication. Yeah, you will see there is some authentication included. Yes, so let's go to Portal Azure. Yeah, so I will go here, SQL Server Databases. So I will go here, and then SQL Databases. I don't find anything. So I will. One moment. One more thing. SQL Server. No, we are okay, because there's also SQL Server. So you need to be careful. There are many services for when you type SQL. So I create SQL database. As always, I have to have subscription, resource group, database, sample database. I need to create, there is no server, but I need to create one. Detect ref server. I'm located in Europe West, so I will. Alright, I can go to Germany, for example. So here are the authentication methods. So Entra, SQL and Microsoft Entra, and SQL authentication. So then, for example, this would be traditional server admin and login password. Yeah, we can have this. So for example, if you'd use SQL Server Management Studio, and then most likely you need to use SQL authentication, where you would have admin login and password. Okay, let's say. Okay, if I remember my password, that's great. Want to use SQL Elastic Pool? No. You can read about this, but it's too advanced. For now, if you can go to production, you can see that the vCores are changing, the default ones. So for production, you will charge more. Okay. I keep the resource default one. If I go here, I can also make some customizations, but I am good with the default one. This one you can just leave by default, but if you have been watching carefully, when I click production, then by default it gave me geo redundant. So this would be a bit more expensive. I will take that one. So for example, you can see that geo redundant and locally redundant are available in all regions, but for example the zone is available in regions with availability zones only, which makes sense as per the name. So I'm moving next. Networking, I leave it by default. Security, be careful because this is extra paid, so in this demo I leave it by default. This is, I think I will have to do something here, but one moment. Data source, yeah, you can change, but I will create a data using SQL query. Let's see for the validation, and yeah, I think we are good. Okay, and we are good. We succeeded. So now I go to resource, and now the fun part will start. What you can see here, yeah, close this one. You can see the SQL server name. Yeah, if you would be doing some kind of coding, this is important for your connection strings. This is some also configurations. Yeah, you can see lots of data management integration, etc. But what I will want to go to for one moment. Yes, this is where I wanted to go. It changed a bit. Oh, and here I can use the SQL Server authentication. So now my password oh mamma mia, so I need to do some security changes. One moment, because deny public network. Let's up. This is my query, which I have prepared. Networking. Security networking. Okay, security networking is not here, but okay. You know what, I'll just do. Okay, I need to make some changes here. Let me try to find it. This will not do anything. Okay, finally. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I have to add my current address. Okay, thankfully, but we were not where we had to do in SQL Server, not in SQL database. So this I didn't know enough quickly. Okay, now it should work quicker. Now I go to query editor again. Okay, we are there. So as you could see, accessing data is very well designed in terms of security. What I will do now, so because my tables view there is nothing, so I want to create a table. I have it prepared. Query create a table called customers, customer ID, type of int, first name, last name, address, city, underwear, varchar. Okay, success. Okay, now okay. Now what I want to do, I will add some data to the query. So I will insert into values. I made a typo. Valid column name, customer name, and we just created we have to name it first name. In the last name I even made a typo, so this is not that great. Address, and we also had a city. First name, last name, address, city. Oh yeah, I made them because it should be first name, last name, zip code, okay, address, and should be country, but okay, anyways. Okay, and now I will try to select all from customers. So I will run this query, and now I could see that there is my database. What I will do, I will add more. Then let's say address 2, and this is where I'm login for, so 1, and select all from customers. And then I got 2 addresses. What I can also do, I can select customer, I can select only, let's say city. I can only select city, or let's say last name city from customers, and then I will only get what I want. What I can also do, select everything from customers where city equals Netherlands, and then I got 1. So this is like this is pure SQL. We have already something in a database. Actually, you can refresh the button, and then you will see your database is there, and you can just play with this. There are many tutorials, for example, SQL tutorial. The first one mostly which come up is W3 schools. And yeah, and you can just follow everything here, and then try it in this database. So at the end of the exercise, I am going to delete it because I don't want to be charged. Okay, it was good. Deleted. Let's see. Sample database is deleted. That's great. Detector server. This also needs to be deleted. Oh my god, I don't want to give feedback. I want to delete it. Yes. Okay, so this will delete. I will just make my conclusion. Azure SQL database, fully managed SQL database with automating scaling by built-in high availability and user recovery. multiple service tiers for different performance needs, what you have seen, and what you have seen, building security with encryption and threat protection as well, automating backups, point in time restore, and it's a very nice there is a very nice seamless migration from on-premises SQL server, which we didn't cover here. And this one was also deleted. So I am good to move to the next class, which will be Azure Cosmos DB.